from that, let's deal with other stories. Now, 12 companies have so far submitted bids to operate Ghana's new electronic road tolling system. Now, according to the Minister for Roads and Highways, Governor Kwame Abuja, speaking at the Government Accountability Series on Wednesday, the Minister confirmed that all the toll collection will be fully electronic with no physical toll booth or barriers on any of the roads that will be affected by the exercise. He further stated that the ministry has submitted proposal for new toll rates to Parliament via the Ministry of Finance for approval.
Sisters, what are we doing now? To improve the maintenance regime, Cabinet has given approval for the reintroduction of road and bridge tolls with a focus on modernizing the collection of these tolls. We have done the transition that we want to transition to electronic and automated tolling system, enhance transparency and auditability of revenue inflows, improve user experience and reduce congestion at toll points. The ministry has launched a concessionaire pre-qualification process so far. Public advertisements have been done. A pre-qualification conference was held on the 3rd of July 2025. 12 firms have submitted applications currently under evaluation. Proposed new toll rates have been submitted to Parliament via Ministry of Finance to determine the rates we are going to be charging when the toll is implemented. We are hoping that this will be based on electronic platform. There will be no physical barriers on any road, and the tolling would only apply to roads that are engineered, meaning that roads that have been fixed. So we don't intend to put tolls on any rough road and other things. But when we make interventions, then we can toll them to raise more money to maintain that and to fix other roads in the country.
Now, responding to concerns raised by the minority regarding alleged bias in the allocation of roads under the Big Push initiative, he said the focus is not on equal distribution but on prioritizing areas with the worst road condition. He dismissed claims that any region had been neglected, stating that all regions have been considered under the Big Push.
Not there when the budget was read. So how would they have understood what was said? So maybe they are acting on rumors because since they were not there. But what the finance minister said was quite clear, and then I explained it here, that the Big Push projects are in two categories. President Mahama's vision for roads that he has mentioned in the past, which we've been working on, and the additional project that we have taken on as a result of the nature of those roads which do not have enough sustainable source of funding. So, for instance, when you take the Western Corridor from Winchi, it doesn't start from Winchi, but the project we are doing is from Winchi to Wa. So, how do you try to share the road from Winchi to Wa amongst everybody? Because, truth be told, the road between or within some regions are better than others. In fact, when I went around, I didn't even see any contractor working in any part of OT region. It was as if it didn't exist. Almost every contractor working in OT was off-site. So there wasn't any project going on. And there are some places that contractors were actively working. Reset means equity as well. So if you have more and others have nothing, we bring them also to a level of sustainability before we share the other ones. So it is not about sharing equally amongst others. It's about addressing the issues. So, but I can guarantee you, Big Push project touches every region, all the 16 regions. So it is not even true that there's a region that has been left out of Big Push. Every region has got a Big Push project. So I can sympathize with my colleagues who were not there when the budget was read that maybe they're acting on rumors.
Well, on the stored Pokuase of Fanko Road project, the minister disclosed that the contractor has received some payments and that the government expects work to resume shortly. He noted that over 300 million cedis has already been paid.
But when the project was awarded, it's multi-million dollar, but there's no dedicated source of funding. So government in the past paid part. the contractor was not on site. And when it started raining this year, you saw the frustration. And rightly so, we know drivers, community members, everybody was unhappy. I met some of them in my office and to hear their frustration. They are not in it alone. We are all in it. Where if I'm going to Kumasi by road, where else would I pass? So I'm a victim as well. So we wanted to take an action. And I must say that as we speak, the contractor has been paid some money currently. And I am expecting that the contractor's activity on site must pick up quickly, because I know we have paid some part of his bills to them. And today, I can confirm that some payment have been made to the contractor working on our Encore project, and we expect that the activities on that side should pick up, so that at least we can create a safe passage for the motorists whilst we work towards completing the rest of the project. Well, I mean, I know we have paid in excess of 300 million Ghana cedi. Yeah, well, that is the financing model of the Encore project. This was GOG. And then I must say that some of our colleagues who spoke on the other side were saying the project was not funded. I mean, it was GOG project, but you remember the $750 million Afri-Exim loan. Then they gave the contractors, some of the contractors, part of that money. But because it's a one-off loan, it's not sustainable. That money has been spent, so the project is back to GOG. So we need to find the money and pay them. That is why President Mahama directed that it should be captured as big push. So we will prioritize the payment for the completion of the Encore project the same way Kaswa to Winneba and beyond. Our aim is to make sure that as a loading would, the accruals will be zero. If the accruals become zero, what it means is that people have stopped overloading. No amount of money we collect in terms of penalties on asset loading can ever be enough to repair the damages caused by trackers along on our roads. Intent to do something about this, and then we have recommended a stiffer penalty regime for those who would not abide by the rule and overload. So you will see that the fees and charges that will come up, we are intending to hike the penalty for overloading on our road from 5,000 Ghana cedi to 50,000. You shouldn't be worried. It's just like saying that if you steal, you'll be jailed for life. You will say that is high-handedness. But what about considering not stealing? Then you have no reason to spend even a day in prison. So we are increasing the penalties for overloading from 5,000 to 50,000. We hope that will be additional deterrent for people to make sure they work within the rules. As part of this, we also noticed that the overloading part of the overloading regime is complex. Some people go to Tamaport, load within the allowable tonnage. When they get out of the port, they park somewhere and then top up the goods. We are coming up with a regulation. Currently, the penalty is solely on the driver. We intend that the penalty be extended to the owner of the goods. So a portion of the good will be seized, auctioned, and the money put in the road maintenance trust fund.
Right, so let me bring in the Vice President of the Progressive Road Contractors Association, Mr. Hammond Labi, as we seek to get some answers on whether the presentation by the Minister satisfies them. Mr. Labi, good to see you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon.
Right, so the Minister makes the point that from the road fund alone, government owed contractors 7 billion Ghana cedis. And he also makes the point that already the Ministry of Finance has initiated plans to disburse payment to road contractors, but he doesn't give the timeline as to how that will be done. And he's convinced that when that disbursement is done, it will help alleviate liquidity pressure within the road construction sector, restore contractors' confidence in work progress, and strengthen the contractor-government partnership. Does it put a smile on your face?
Oh, yes.
And
yes, that's what every contractor is expecting. Every contractor is expecting to be paid for what the work he has done.
but the point is that since the government took off, has there been any payment at all to some of your members?
So there are some people on the roadside.
I'm sorry, if you can kindly reposition yourself so we can hear you. It's difficult to follow you.
Yeah, I'm sure some of the contractors who work in the process have been paid. Is it better?
Yes, it's better now. We can hear you.
Okay. So that one, no. By majority of the road contractors, such as the maintenance contractors, are crying for their money. Yes.
And so the challenge with the sector is still existing.
Yes, I know some 4 billion have been released, and then the contractors will be paid, but they have to work on it before. I mean, I'm sure from next week, which will be the August, first week in August, the contractors will start receiving their money.
All right. So, from the association point of view, are you aware of the modalities that government is using to pay the contractors?
Sorry?
As I'm asking, from your point of view, are you aware of the modalities government is using to pay the contractors?
I think some of the contractors will be paid from the Ministry of Finance. And it is not that they have passed the road fund, the road trust fund bill. So yes, road trust fund bill now have been passed. So now they will start working on the road fund. But those who are owed at the road fund, there is 2 categories. We have the road fund and then the Ministry of Finance. So those who will receive their payment from the Ministry of Finance and those who will receive from the road fund.
Right.
The road fund board needs to be put in place. So once the road fund board is in place, I'm sure the payment will start.
The minister says that an assessment of the status of contractual commitment indicates a very large portfolio of existing road projects, active and inactive, estimated to cost about 105 billion Ghana cedis as of December 2024. Is it the case that because payments delayed, that's the reason why we have so many projects either abandoned, halfway done, or yet to start?
Yeah, after you work with the media, if you haven't been paid, we'll be going to work. You won't go to work. So the contractor decided to leave site because they haven't received their money. Well, because they haven't received their money, they won't work. Because most of them, they borrow the money to do the job. And the bank is actually chasing them. The bank is on their necks. So they are waiting to get their money before they go to site. I bet you, once the contractor starts receiving their money, they will go into the site.
And so therefore, the contractor cannot be blamed wholly for what is happening.
Sorry?
I'm saying that because of that, you say that the contractor cannot take the ultimate blame for the state of whatever job he or she is working on.
The contractor cannot be. Sorry, I didn't get.
The question is that because of what you're saying, I'm saying that the contractor cannot therefore be blamed for non-completion of work.
No, well, it's like this. Once you complete a stage, you prepare a certificate and you are paid. So contractor only demanding for what they have worked for, what they have actually worked for. That's what the contractors are looking for.
Okay. Finally, are you happy with the proposed reintroduction of the road toll? Perhaps that will bring in more money.
Of course. It's long overdue. It's long overdue. I'm even proposing this in the money that they have to take from the road toll. The fees must be higher. You know, it's not that 1 cedi and 2 cedi, 50%. You know, we can't live with that. Since the price of things have gone up, and we need to raise the road tolls. We need to raise the fees on the road tolls. It is very, very important that we get that one done.
All right. Ms. Alabi, we'll leave it here for now. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. The minority in Parliament. They are also taking a bite on this matter. They are fighting the Roads and Highways Minister over what they say is his attempt to deny the existence of thousands of kilometers of roads built by the former Akufo-Addo administration. Speaking at the Government Accountability Series, you heard the minister say that he had toured the country and couldn't see the roads the previous government claimed to have built. But responding in Parliament, former Roads Minister Francis Asenso-Boakye told journalists the record exists that the previous government constructed at least 13,000 kilometers of roads.
The minister claims that President Akufo-Addo's widely acknowledged achievement of constructing over 13, he mentioned 10,000, but the original figure is over 13,000 roads, is a mirage because he did not see any such roads during his recent tour. This is not only disingenuous, but gross attempt to politicize hard facts. Let us put the matter on record, set the record straight. Between 2017 and end of 2024, the Akufo-Addo administration undertook road projects totaling 13,624 kilometers. This is in clear contrast to the 4,636 kilometers executed under the Mills Mahama administration of 8 years. These over 13 kilometers comprise new constructions, asphalt overlays, graveling and graveling, reconstruction and partial reconstruction, upgrading and rehabilitation works. These facts have been presented repeatedly, yet the Honorable Abuja continues to ignore them, perhaps because the unprecedented scale of road development under Nana Addo Akufo-Addo unsettles the current administration.
Right, so let me bring in Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kwaku Asante, who joins us with more from this. So Kwaku, there's this matter of single source method of procurement the minority has also been speaking to. If you can throw some light on it for us.
Well, yes, Elton, according to the NPP minority, at this Government Accountability Series that a minister spoke at, he did speak to the fact that there were certain projects that the government was going to embark on, and the government was going to do so by way of single source procurement. And they say that during his time as ranking member on the Roads Committee, at the time that the NDC were in opposition, and even during his time when he became a leader of the House, he did bastardize the NPP government use of single source procurement for certain limited scope. And they say it exposes what they call his hypocrisy, that is now in government and is resorting to the use of single source procurement to the construction of roads and engaging in certain road projects in that ministry.
It's equally troubling that the minister, who upon assuming office loudly criticized the Akufo-Addo administration for employing single source procurement method, is now making a complete U-turn. At today's press conference, Honorable Abuja, who once said, who stated today that once you have engineers' estimates, once the engineers prepare the estimate for road construction, it doesn't matter the procurement method you use. He made this statement today. Is this not double standards? This blatant contradiction not only exposes his double standards, but raises serious questions about his integrity. You cannot demonize a method that others use, only to defend it when you find yourself in the same situation. If the minister now believes that procurement should be guided by technical evaluation, as it should, then he owes the previous administration an unqualified apology for the misleading accusations. To conclude, I want to add that the Ministry of Roads and Highways is a technical institution, not a propaganda arm for political spin. If the Honorable Abuja wants to be taken seriously, he must rise above selective memory and partisan grandstanding. Ghana deserves honest, data-driven, not empty rhetoric.
Well, this is sort of pause. We've got a statement coming in from the presidency on the attack on the JoyNews reporter, Carlos Kaloni. We'll have that statement for you shortly. There's also a development on what the Ghana Education Service is attempting to do regarding final year students who are about to write their WASI, but because of the conflict in Bawku, Nalarigu, those schools have been closed. YXS, they've not been told officially what to do. Now, there's a development on that matter. I'll bring that one to you also shortly, together with a government statement on the attack on the JoyNews journalists. But before we do that, let me bring in the Ghana Education Service, because they've got a statement that is putting to rest the confusion that surrounds this decision to close down the school and what it is that WAEC must do next week when the WASI start. Let me bring that statement to you. So that is what you have on your screens now. The management of the Ghana Education Service, they got a statement, and that's what you can see on your screens. They've received reports of violent incident at Bawku, Nalarigu, Zuarugu, SHS, which have resulted in the tragic loss of students' lives, injuries, and significant damage to school property. Now, these events, which occurred between the 20th and the 26th of July, 2025, have severely disrupted academic activities and caused deep distress among students. The GES condemn in all uncertainty of these acts of violence. They've expressed their sincere condolences to the bereaved families and affected schools. The GES is also currently collaborating with the Ministry of Education, WAEC, regional and district directors, and the leadership of the affected schools to take urgent steps to ensure that SHS 3 students are able to sit for the upcoming WASI under safe and fair conditions. Several examination arrangements and also secure centers are currently under consideration. SS1 and 2 students in affected schools, the GES is exploring all viable learning avenues to ensure continuity of lessons whilst campuses remain closed for safety assessment. Further details of this intervention, they say that it will be announced soon. And they thank government and the ministry for their swift evacuation of students to safety, and they will continue to work closely with the security agencies to enhance safety on school campuses. And the reason why this statement is very important is because when we spoke to WAEC yesterday, they are yet to be told that there's some disturbances in Bawku, in Nalarigu, and the Zuarugu. The reason why senior secondary schools there have been closed down. They were waiting for the GES to tell them officially so that they can also initiate their own plans to capture the affected students in the upcoming West African Senior Secondary School Certificate examination. And GES says that they've taken steps to this, and in due course, they will announce the plans to accommodate the students caught in this disturbances, the reason why they are home. There's also another developing story. Remember, we brought you that story in the first half of the show. The attack this morning on a JoyNews journalist who was doing his legitimate business of reporting news regarding a demolition exercise. The military pounced on them. They were taken to the national security offices somewhere around the Accra Sports Stadium, detained. In the process, some of the equipment they used in their line of duty got damaged. The presidency is taking an interest in this matter, and the statement that is coming through from the presidency, let me bring that to you right now. And government condemns the attempted arrest of JoyNews reporter and the assault of an eyewitness by a soldier at a demolition site. Such actions, according to the statement, are utterly unacceptable to the John Mahama administration and have no place in a democratic society. The statement says, I am directed by President John Dramani Mahama to unequivocally reaffirm his unwavering commitment to the freedom and safety of journalists. A free and unaffected press is a cornerstone of our democracy, essential for accountability, transparency, and informed public discourse. Government also reiterates a commitment to ensuring the safety and security of all Ghanaian citizens whose rights must always be protected. Government has accordingly directed the Minister for Defense and National Security Coordinator to investigate the incident and ensure that the appropriate punishment is immediately imposed. Appropriate disciplinary and punitive measures must be applied without delay to ensure accountability and prevent future occurrences. And this is signed by Felix Kwachofosu, Member of Parliament, spokesperson to the President and Minister for Government Communication. Of course, we'll take a short break here on the pause and return shortly.